On behalf of the Congress of the People, it is with great pride and pleasure that I warmly welcome you to the first in the Common Platform debate series hosted by the Elections Commission of the Congress of the People, entitled Moving to the Next Level. A warm welcome to our political leader, Mr. Prakash Ramada, all candidates contesting these elections, members of the COP family, the media, our moderator, and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. This debate series is a campaign forum for our 19 candidates contesting 8 posts to our national executive. It will be a combination of presentations, debates, and questions from our audience. Our moderator tonight is Mr. Felipe Noguera, and he was educated at the Harvard University. He was also educated at the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies and the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy, where he studied Chinese political economy, Arabic, Islamic law and banking, and international economics and international communication and space law, respectively.
And the first candidate for vice chairperson, or chairman it says, but you know, we don't mean to be sexist in any way, just that's the nomenclature. The first candidate is Ms. Nicole Dyer Griffith.
Thank you very much, moderator. Political leader, all other protocols observed. As part of my campaign strategy, I developed a Facebook page entitled Vote for Nicole Dyer Griffith as Deputy Chairman of the COP. And I sent that page link to many of my Facebook friends. Within a matter of minutes, the deluge of responses I received from persons who had openly supported the COP in the past and have either now become very dormant, angry, or totally disenchanted was unbelievable. The general consensus online is that of apathy and disenchantment. And if you do not believe me, you can feel free to check that out for yourself. The point of this statement is to ensure that we recognize the reality with which we are faced. This is by no means an easy journey. Likewise, this is by no means just another internal election.
The next candidate we're going to hear from for the position of Vice Chairman of the COP, Mr. Hugh Nurse.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and good night and all protocols observed to this very distinguished gathering and those listening nationally and streaming on the World Wide Web. I am Hugh Nurse, and I want to present tonight the Reform Platform, because my passion and my reason for being in the politics today, after so many years, is because I feel that we never got the formula right. And the COP was founded on a mantra that we needed to get the politics right. And somehow that message has become lost. It has become emulsified in all the things that have happened and have overtaken us. But I believe that our message must begin to resonate above the din of everything else. Except your message can be heard above everything else that's happening in the country, then your constituency of interest will never hear it and mobilize themselves for the battle that's ahead.
And our final candidate for Vice Chairman of the COP, Mr. Vido Rambro.
The theme of this election is moving to the next level. In order to understand how we can move to the next level, we need to look back at where we came from. In September 2006, the COP was formed through the efforts of many and led by the vision of Mr. Winston Buchanan, getting our politics right and new politics where the ideals of some and the vehicle to take us there with transparency, accountability, respect, proper processes, fairness, all taking us to good governance. Alas, the dreams of yesterday are not the realities of today. We all know of the perceptions that exist. These national executive elections bring us to an important juncture in the life of the COP. Making the right decisions and ensuring the right persons with the appropriate skills form part of the national executive will be of ultimate importance.
Presentations from the candidates for chairman of the Congress of the People. We'll begin with Ms. Rekha Ramjit.
The Congress of the People became a political party on September 10, 2006. The wave of support that brought us to that point, that very first level, was generated by the principles, the hope, and the promise that the COP offered. Before September 10, 2006, many of you might have remembered, or might remember today, that a group of persons got together, led by the founder of this party, Mr. Winston Dukaran, and we took to the cities, the towns, the villages, the streets, every nook and cranny of Trinidad and Tobago to bring its philosophy to the people, a philosophy which we enshrined in our Constitution. I was part of that founding group. I don't know how many of you remember the days of 50 meetings in 10 nights. We moved from meeting to meeting with a limited number of speakers, but yet we were able to excite the minds and the hearts of people everywhere that we went.
We now hear from Ms. Carolyn Sipasad Bechan, candidate for chairman.
Members of the COP family, I want to say this is a great evening. This is how we do business in the COP. And that is why we stand out, separate from everyone else. I stand by the principles and values of our party, the COP, the Congress of the People. I stand by the new politics. I am a founding member of this party. Why did I decide to run as chairman? We must all face up to reality. Over the past couple months, this party has come under severe attack, inside and outside of the cabinet. There's an opinion that our party is being compromised. There's an opinion that as we were founded, we have lost our way. When the COP was founded, it was agreed that the COP must be a flagship and the way forward for this country. We had all our documents. I left it there. The new politics, Charter for Change, nationhood building. Do you recall those documents? All of those documents, my dear friends, were the living reality of the COP.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. And now we're going to hear from the incumbent chairman, Joseph Tony.
The theme of my campaign to become your chairman over the next 2 years is the second phase. You may well ask, well, what happened in the first phase? The last 2 years have been extremely challenging as the Congress of the People sought to navigate virtually uncharted waters of true coalition politics in Trinidad and Tobago. I have heard this evening my two competitors speak about attending 50 meetings when the COP was founded 7 years ago. I have checked, Carolyn and Rekha, and I have attended about 100 meetings over the last 2 years, battling for the COP to be recognized as an able political party in Trinidad and Tobago. Moral authority, when I look at moral authority, my mind immediately goes to our founding father of the Congress of the People, Mr. Winston Dukaran. Because you see, he did not have tremendous money. He did not have a wide range of support like other political parties from other old parties like the PNM and the UNC. But there was about him a sense that he knew about values, he knew what he thought was right for Trinidad and Tobago, and I think that his conduct over the years gave him an extra surge of strength to ensure that he had moral authority in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you.
John?
What role does moral authority play, in your view, in governance, government, and in nation building? And how has the COP exercised such moral authority over the past 2.5 years?
Moral authority is only derived from the principles by which you live and the policies that you adhere to. If one makes a decision that is questionable in terms of integrity, then you no longer have the moral authority to ask someone to behave in another way. The COP in government has stated its position on several issues, and including, of course, the recent issue of having the Minister of Justice removed because of the misstep that occurred with regard to Section 34. By so doing, the COP therefore maintained the moral authority to lead the people of Trinidad and Tobago. By its behavior, by its position, by its stance on certain issues, you will maintain your moral authority.
Thank you. Carolyn?
Not to repeat everything that is just said, but the morals that we are talking about is, you're saying how is that influencing government and governance. So let's start there. It is about how we change our society, because it starts with government and governance. And therefore, if we are adhering to our principles and values, we have our value proposition. And an example is like how we build that into our school system, from the children up in our society. What has happened is, you said how does that influence the government, how we played that role in the government? I'll give two examples. Rika gave one, which I'm glad to hear, that people recognize that if it was not for the Congress of the People asking for the veil of collective responsibility and cabinet confidentiality be raised, we would not have had the outcome of the Section 34 with the removal of the Minister of Justice. In addition, you have had character value, education, character values entering back into our education system. What the issue of procurement, the whole issue of being transparent, value for money, accountable. We now talk about the procurement legislation.
Thank you. All right, it's my great pleasure to introduce the Honorable Minister of Legal Affairs, Member of Parliament for St. Augustine, and the political leader of the Congress of the People, Mr. Prakash Ramadan.
What a wonderful party we have. I cannot believe the greatness that exists in this party. I want to ask you once again to congratulate each and every one of these noble souls on this platform. This party was founded in 2006 with the greatest expectations and hope that any political party had ever given to this nation. We worked tirelessly. Some from 2006, others like myself who joined in 2007. When that hope was dashed in 2007, many gave up the belief that this thing will survive. But because of you, all of us in this room and many thousands on the outside kept it alive, because we knew that Trinidad and Tobago needed us as we need water, air, and life itself. The politics of the Congress of the People is a life-saving force that will ensure the success of this nation. After 2007, we worked tirelessly everywhere, every nook and cranny of Trinidad and Tobago to ensure that the people felt as one. And in 2010, when the election was called, we gave selflessly of our leader, who ought to have been the Prime Minister. We gave selflessly of our work because we knew Trinidad and Tobago needed a change from the demonic forces that are taking control of this nation. We continue that work up till today. But the sad fact is that after we went in the relationship that got us into government in the People's Partnership, many of our supporters, a large majority of us, felt, well, listen, we had worked so long, we wanted to see a COP in power, we wanted to see a COP prime minister, that there was a level of disappointment and disenchantment. The good news is that we don't need to have all the numbers to have the influence to change Trinidad and Tobago. This country is changing before your very eyes, and many may not yet realize it, because it is not a short-term thing. The Congress of the People is here to stay.